Whether you wear a cowboy hat or a farmer's cap, if you've got cattle, you pay your beef checkoff. But did you know that for every dollar invested, it returns a $5 bill? So get to know your checkoff, sponsor of this week's Samuelson Sez. As we speak, the world is meeting in Copenhagen, Denmark, to decide how to deal with global warming and climate change. There are still some people who are not convinced that we should be doing anything, others who are saying we ought to change the world completely, and that relates to some of the debate on Capitol Hill regarding what we do about climate change in this country. And this past Monday in Washington, D.C., I talked to Nebraska Senator Mike Johanns, former Secretary of Agriculture, and the current Secretary, Tom Vilsack, about climate change and legislation. They are miles apart on what they see. Senator Johanns says this simply will not work. Secretary Vilsack says this will add a new income dimension to America's farmers. They'll be able to get money for what they can contribute to cleaning up the emissions problem that we have. Then there's China. They're already saying in Copenhagen, Japan, the United States, the European Union must do much more to cut emissions. Well, excuse me, China is the biggest emitter of bad emissions on the planet. But they're saying they're a developing country, so no, not their fault. Other countries have to do it. To me, it would add up to a major problem for the United States, and particularly the farmers and the ranchers who need energy and who need to continue producing food. One study said we'd probably have to take 60 million acres of cropland out of production, turn it into forest land to provide raw material for energy. Well, then where would that production go? Would we ship our food production outside the borders of the United States? We very well could. It is a major piece of legislation that we're looking at here, friends, and while it's difficult to understand, agriculture really needs to study it and help the people on Capitol Hill understand, who right now think that, well, they're doing the right thing about global warming. Stay on this one and let them know your feelings. My thoughts on Samuelson Sez.